Today we are talking about everything that you need to know about the Willamette Valley if you are thinking about moving to our area. This is definitely going to be a show today where if you are especially in that phase where you're kind of still deciding exactly which area you're wanting to live in, you might want to take some notes, grab your pen, grab your paper.
A small world after all. That's what I feel like when it comes to the Willamette Valley.
Why?
It literally hits everything in Oregon. The I-5, you can hit Highway 22 to get east to west. It's like that central location, and then on top of that, you got the capital of Oregon. It's a really good place to live.
It is. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Mariah.
And I'm Spencer.
And we work with a lot of relocation clients. We specialize in out-of-state relocation buyers. We love it. If that's you, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to work with you. I'll put our contact information below. The Willamette Valley is a 150-mile stretch of land right in the heart of Oregon. It is home to the 5 largest cities in the state, which are Portland, Salem, Eugene, Gresham, and Hillsborough. And around 70% of the population of Oregon lives in the Willamette Valley. And in our opinion, it's, I would say, the best place in Oregon to live. Do you agree?
I absolutely agree.
Okay.
I can't deny that one.
Okay. So before we get into some of the reasons why we think it's the best place to live, let's just name off some of the towns, cities.
Before you do that, can you go back to that stat, though? That stat. Did you say 70% of Oregon is made up in the Willamette Valley?
Yeah, 70%.
No wonder.
Yeah.
No wonder I say it's the greatest place there is. I mean, 70% of our population here in Oregon lives in these areas. And these areas are, again, you're reading them now.
Well, I'm about to tell you more.
Okay.
This isn't everything. There's more towns. These are just like some of the main ones. Okay. There's some smaller ones that I left out. Not in any particular order, as far as like location, size, or anything like that. It's pretty scattered that are in the Willamette Valley. Again, because a lot of our clients are people who they're thinking about moving here, but a lot of them are still, when we first initially talk with them, they're still in that phase of they haven't even decided where they're moving. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're moving to Salem because their job's moving them here, or they know the specific town, Albany, Woodburn, Dallas, so many towns, that we work in, but sometimes they just want to live in generally the Willamette Valley or Oregon, the Salem surrounding areas, and they don't know where yet. So here's a handful of towns in the Willamette Valley.
Okay. Let's
that was a handful. Okay. Salem, Portland, Newberg, Corvallis, Beaverton, Springfield, Woodburn, Mount Angel, Carlton, Turner, Independence, Oregon City, Silverton, Dayton, McMinnville, Albany, Monmouth.
That's crazy because being an Oregonian, I know exactly where every town is that you just labeled. I mean, I know the exact routes. I don't even need my GPS. That's how much of an Oregonian I am.
Yep.
Those are great towns, too, to live in.
All of them are great towns.
Because... Again, 70% of Oregonians live in the Mid-Willamette Valley.
Yeah.
Or just
crazy?
the Willamette Valley.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And comparing it to different parts of Oregon, I just feel like, there is so much more going on as a whole. There's just a lot more to do in the Willamette Valley in general. So here's a few reasons why we love the Willamette Valley and why we think you might love it too if you're relocating here. Food and drink. It's famous for its wine production and has over 2/3 of all the vineyards in Oregon. However, the food scene here is just as great. You will find the state's top restaurants and dining options here too, because this area is a major major agricultural hub. Because of that, the grab and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to re-say that. Because this area is a major agricultural hub, the food to table scene here is huge, which I really appreciate.
Dude, you're totally right about that.
Yes.
I didn't really think of that.
It's true.
One thing there is refreshing with our state in general. Maybe you live in a different state that it's not like this. And it's like you just said, it comes from the farm to the table.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of outsourcing, especially in our area. I actually seek out more food places that go more from the field to the kitchen,
like and
seed to sale products.
Right. Salem in particular, but also I know a lot of these towns are really big on having restaurants with good quality food. There's a lot of like really great local restaurants that serve organic food, and they're really thoughtful about where they get their food from, which I know a lot of places you just don't see that. A lot of people move to this area for job-related reasons. I know we see this a lot as relocation specialists. A few significant employers headquartered in the Willamette Valley are Nike, Columbia Sportswear, Stancorp Financial Group,
Big
and
names.
many more. I love the culture and the entertainment options here, museums, galleries, shows, festivals. I feel like all those towns I named, they all have their own festivals. They all have a park that hosts events consistently throughout the summer. Ever shifting calendars of festivals and carnivals and concerts. There's always something going on here. I was literally just looking last weekend actually at just the Elsinore Theater alone, which is a really beautiful historic theater downtown Salem, Oregon. I was just looking at their itinerary or schedule, what they have coming up. And just over the next few months, like every multiple times a week, there's stuff going on and they're really good. I mean, things that actually sound really interesting and fun to go to from everything
go to
from,
a few of those.
like comedians coming to, I told our daughter, she's going to be 4 here in a few months. I told her I would take her to the, there was like the Nutcracker coming, the ballet. She's really into dancing and stuff.
Awesome.
So there's just a lot to do in different areas.
And you can't beat, Salem, it's centrally located. It's the capital of Oregon. But then you're that 45 miles or so to Portland, 45 miles to Eugene. And so that's what I mean. If you're in the mid Willamette Valley, you definitely do have more options is the goal, I would say. So when the seasons change, you can go to different areas for that time period, which I think is amazing and something I really do look forward to do year over year.
Yeah. And another thing to add about the Willamette Valley is that I think the weather here is probably the most, I don't want to say neutral, easy to live in compared to other parts of Oregon, because a lot of these other parts of Oregon that aren't in the Willamette Valley, you're going to see a little bit more extreme weather, where in the winter you might see more snow. In the summer, it might get a little bit hotter, but the Willamette Valley, it's all very, very similar weather throughout the entire Willamette Valley. You're going to have like perfect summers, 70s, 80s, 90s all summer. And then, of course, rainy springs and winter. It's colder, but it's not going to be, freezing degrees every day. We don't get tons of snow like other parts of Oregon. It's much more moderate, I guess you could say.
Right.
It's,
Oh, I love it, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is all we have for today. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you are considering moving to Oregon, feel free to reach out. We'd love to set up a call with you and talk about the next steps. And head over to our channel. We have a handful of playlists talking all about everything you need to know about living in and relocating to our area. And we'll see you next week.